Greetings, Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This is your Western forecast for April 2025. There's a lot of emphasis in the next couple of months, but even for a number of years, dealing with your work skills, your day-to-day job routine, employees or co-workers. That is because on March the 29th, 2025, there was a new moon solar eclipse in Aries, which is 6 signs past Scorpio. So I talked a bit about this in last month's video, but I want to take this even deeper. The 6th house can be about your day-to-day job routine and your job skills and coworkers. But the 6th house can also highlight the need for self-improvement, emotionally, physically. It could be dealing with wanting to be healthier, eating better, etc. And if there's any health issues, then Scorpio, was always this kind of all or nothing energy, could really throw yourself into getting healthier with new diet or new treatments. However, it's individual for you. So that's what was being set into motion March the 29th with the new moon solar eclipse. Eclipses and repeat the same cycle every 19 years. And that's why I said what that solar eclipse is trying to manifest could be impacting you for years to come. But a solar eclipse, being a darkening of the light, can last, it could take 30 to 60 days for it to reveal what it's trying to bring into your life. It's in Aries, so Aries is new beginnings, and a new moon eclipse is trying to bring in something new in your 6th house that could take 30 to 60 days to start revealing what we're talking about here. Could get really into healthcare, self-improvement, being of service, volunteering. That's one side of the 6th house. And the other is starting a new job, starting a business, getting new job skills, or realizing you need to hire employees to help you. Now, how I can start looking at how this, just describing what that solar eclipse energy could bring in, because I was talking about a whole broad perspective. Mercury and Venus and the North Node and Saturn are all in Pisces, a water sign, compatible with Scorpio, a water sign. And Pisces is 5 signs past Scorpio. So there's a major emphasis on 5th house matters. The 5th house is can mean romance and children, creativity, investing and risk-taking in business. The 5th house is, because it's the domain of children, it could be dealing with recreational activities and playfulness and sports, recreational activities and sports. This solar eclipse, which is very profound new energy trying to come into your life, you could be getting yourself involved with sports to strengthen your body. You 5th house's children. Well, you have a child, you're pregnant, and it's certainly going to make major changes with your health, with all the hormonal changes, metabolism changes, and then you're having to see the doctor all the time for checkups. That's the 6th house of doing a lot of body work and service. So, Mercury started in Aries, in your 6th house of work matters, health matters. the middle of March, but it went retrograde, a time of reevaluating, rethinking, second-guessing, work matters, health matters. But then it retrograded out of Aries into Pisces as we got to April. And now Mercury is retrograde until April the 7th in Pisces. Then it goes direct. When it goes direct, you're beginning to have more focus, more clarity, being more decisive with fifth house matters. From creative to gambling or investing, sports. Now, it's a very creative, and Mercury could be about wanting to learn the creative business, more craftsmanship. Could be creative writing, acting, singing. These are some of the energies that Mercury going forwards in Pisces in the fifth house. Venus, the planet of creativity and love and cooperation, went retrograde in Aries in your sixth house, March the 1st, once every year and a half. As we get closer to April, Venus retrogrades out of Aries into Pisces, and so April, the first 12 days, Venus is still retrograde in Pisces in your fifth house. Venus in retrograde, reevaluating relationships, testing relationships, but Venus can be very creative, and the fifth house, it's children, it's romance, but it's also giving, it's the area for creative expression. And Venus can be very creative, but we could also be creating babies. Now, that Venus going direct in the fifth house could, and with Mercury, there could be, because with Mercury you're doing a lot of decisions and discussing and talking about fifth house matters. Are we talking about children for some of you, the arts with some of you, with risk-taking and investing in business? That's the fifth house. Sports, recreational activities and sports with the fifth house, which would really be, help you strengthen and build muscles with that eclipse in the sixth house of health matters. The karmic north node always feels karmic in hindsight, because while you're going through it, doesn't mean you're not usually going, this is meant to be, this is very karmic. But what it does do in the immediate is it amplifies and it intensifies. It's in Pisces, first time in nearly 18 to 19 years, closer to 19 years. That's when the North Node went into Pisces at the beginning of 2025. It's there for a year and a half. It repeats every 19 years. Saturn, since 2023, went into Pisces. At the end of May, it's going into Aries. Now that's a big deal because responsible taskmaster, business, serious Saturn in Pisces every 30 years. It could be this transitional, confusing, anxiety-provoking, not feeling grounded, not having a lot of sense of security for many people. Then it goes into fiery, take action, ambitious Aries at the end of May. So we're going through a big transition for the world, like no kidding. But the North Node intensifies and amplifies the Saturn, which is making much more commitment, more responsibilities, a sense of duty. Now that Saturn North Node is exactly aligned from April the 17th to the 23rd. But it could trigger an event a couple of weeks before to a couple of weeks after. But it's bringing this urgency of commitment, of the long term, building something solid. And it's falling in the 5th house with that creative Venus, with that curious Mercury, all in the 5th house. So again, are we talking about children, creative projects, romance? You could be getting really serious about a creative business because the solar eclipse is highlighting the 6th house of work. So there could be all this 5th house creative emphasis, starting a new business. But there's so much caretaking and being of service if you're having a baby or having to go see the doctors on regular checkups. Now, one big important piece is ambitious Mars. Was in your career sector November, December. It's going back into your career sector the middle of April. But before I discuss this important planetary event that only occurs every 2 years, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. All right, Mars is ambitious, aggressive, assertive, can be impatient, can be argumentative. Mars is going into Leo, April the 17th. Leo is 10 signs past Scorpio. So ambitious, aggressive Mars is moving into your career sector April the 17th for 2 months. You're going to be taking more risks, being busy, more confident, more assertive, more ambitious. But you already saw clues of this. When Mars went into Leo in November, December the 6th, it went retrograde in Leo in your 10th house of careers. During the retrograde period in December, business might have gotten taking more of an effort, more frustrating, more sluggish, more of a slowdown. Then it went into Cancer, retrograde until February 23rd. And from February 23rd until April the 17th, the Mars has been in Cancer. And Cancer is a water sign, favorable with Scorpio, a water sign. But the Mars in Cancer was 9 signs past Scorpio. So especially as Mars is now direct and we're coming out of the retrogrades of Mercury and Venus, the first 2 weeks of April, the Mars still being in Cancer, where you're being more motivated and taking action, 9th house could be getting more education, more professional training. The 9th house could be media, marketing, and publishing. That's all the 9th house. Then clues back in November and December, come April the 17th to June the 17th, 2 months, the Mars goes into Leo, back into your 10th house of careers. So whether you are starting to take the lead, take risks, being ambitious, aggressive with career and business matters. But back to the solar eclipse and the bigger picture in your 6th house. That could be because of Mars, ambitious Mars in the 10th of career. I'm looking at the eclipse in the 6th house that could be infecting you for the next several months, impacting you for a couple of more years. The 6th house could be your work. And Mars being really ambitious and aggressive with career matters. So you could be developing and wanting to form a new business. And with the 5th house emphasis, the business could be in finance and investing. That's 5th house. It could be involving children. That's the 5th house. It could be creative. You could go in the creative business or interior design, or entertainment. That's all the 5th house. Now, the new moon, solar eclipse, March the 29th, planting seeds. That could be taking several months to fully reveal where it's taking you. But 2 weeks after the new moon, March the 29th, is the full moon in Libra on April the 13th. And the full moon brings everything to light. It's a time of culmination, revealing what has been hidden in the solar eclipse. There's always something hidden that is being revealed later. Well, the full moon in Libra around the 13th, Libra is in the shadow sector of Scorpio. What could be bringing to light and bringing to culmination? The 12th house could be all this work behind the scenes, research, studying, development, because now let's put it this way, you're now going to start having some clues of where this business direction is taking you, and there's a lot of work to do. Some of you, this could be having a baby. And then by the 13th is when you're realizing you are pregnant, or that you need a lot more rest, and starting to take on more responsibilities with your doctor's appointments. So this is an exciting time for new enterprise. I think it's, with the physical body, it could be more exercising in sports, and that's a nice thing. That's a good thing. And with having babies and seeing doctors. But I think this is about developing a creative business. So I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.